Hello and welcome to episode 48 of From Impossible to Inevitable. I am your host, Megan Bauer. Thank you so much for joining me today and pushing play. If you are in the United States, today that this airs is the day after Thanksgiving. So, Thanksgiving is a very traditional time to think about gratitude and to think about the things in our life that we are grateful for. Um, the traditional Thanksgiving story is about, the pilgrims giving thanks from their long journey across the sea to find, America and the friendship supposedly they formed with the Indians and having this mixed cultures bountiful feast. So this is the idea that we celebrate at Thanksgiving is coming together and feasting on the plenty that we have. And in this day and age, especially if you are watching or listening to this podcast, you clearly have access to the internet via phone or computer. And that in itself is plenty. Not as in like that's all you need, but I mean like that is plentiful. You have access to so much in the internet. Even if we're just talking about podcasts, you can listen to me, you can listen to somebody else, you can listen to 100 million, feels like, I don't know how many podcasts there are, but there are tons of podcasts. You have your pick from a plentiful, bountiful amount of podcasts. If you have the internet, you have so much at your fingertips. And there's so much in having the internet to be grateful for. However, what I do want to focus on is this spirit of gratitude. Thanksgiving is oftentimes so busy because we tend to focus on the getting the family together, getting that organized, and who's bringing what and what time and where, and setting the table, making sure the table's big enough, and cooking the food and coordinating when everything is ready and keeping dishes at a manageable level and this and that and the other. And it's really busy, really hectic, lots to coordinate, lots to work through. And we can lose sight on the actual taking a minute or 10 to think about all that we have in our lives that we can choose to be grateful for. And yes, this is a choice. Gratitude is something that you get to choose. Even in the hard situations, you can choose to be grateful for them. It at the beginning of 2021, Jake was laid off from his job. And unbeknownst to us, that was the beginning of 9 months of unemployment. However, when we look back on that time, which was kind of, a little scary, not to lie, when we look back on that time, I think about that summer because we had a blast that summer because we could go bike riding whenever. Like the girls and dad and we could just make these family bike rides at like 10 o'clock in the morning. We were all together and it was just fun. And that we could just go to the pool, we could do whatever. And we were really grateful in the moment that we could spend that time together. I don't think Jake or I would have said that we were grateful that he didn't have a job, but we were grateful for all the family time that we got to spend together. We were grateful for the midday bike rides. We were grateful for the, Tuesday morning pool time. We were grateful for all of that because the unemployment was what it was. He was applying for jobs, he was doing interviews, he was going through all the things. He was doing all the things, everything he could to find a job. And while it wasn't happening yet, we were really grateful for what we did have, which was that time together. And that was so fun. And every time we were taken out to lunch or whatever, or somebody brought us lunch or something fun, we were really extra grateful for that because it was something that we didn't have to pay for. And we were so grateful. So, even especially in those undesirable situations, there are things to be grateful for. As I chatted about finding the good in our last episode, episode 47, um, being grateful is goes hand in hand with looking for the good. You can dislike being stuck in traffic and be grateful for not being in an accident, and be grateful for this container, your car, of a time to think, or to listen to a podcast, or listen to a book, or if you have your kids in the car, you can use that as an opportunity to connect with them. Find out things that maybe you wouldn't be finding out in the busyness of get your homework done, get in the bath, all of these things, because all you're doing is sitting in a car. You can use that time to um, to your advantage and be grateful for what that opportunity gives you. So, as you reflect on gratitude, you will really deepen this feeling if you grab your journal. And you don't necessarily have to write in depth about any one thing. You don't have to write in depth about, I am grateful for this time I spent with my family because blah, 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 blah. You can make a list of things you're grateful for and just take a few seconds for each thing to really feel that gratitude. Feel what that adds to your life. Feel how much you appreciate that thing or that person or that experience or that skill. A lot of times when I think about gratitude, I think about being grateful for not just my family, but the way my family supports me in doing the things that I want to do and feel called to do and get excited about. I feel immense gratitude for that. I just went through this journaling exercise recently where I wrote down 10 things, 10 everyday normal occurrences, normal things that I am grateful for. And that was really interesting because there's so much in your normal everyday experiences and environment that you kind of take for granted. You know, one of those things was I've got a friend who calls me, and in this day and age where texting is just so easy, this friend calls me. Maybe not every week, but sometimes, maybe every other week. And I love that she calls me. And it's so fun. Every time I see her name pop up on my phone, I'm like, ah, it's her. And I get excited and I answer the phone. I'm like, hi, how are you? What's going on? And I'm so excited and I'm grateful for that. I am so grateful for that friendship and for those phone calls, those normal, everyday phone calls. I mean, she doesn't call me every day, but it's an everyday thing. It's not out of this world to receive a phone call. It's kind of out of this world to receive a phone call from somebody you actually want to speak to. Besides the point. In this season of gratitude, don't just use this as some sort of platitude or whatever. Just don't don't be like, yeah, it's the time to be grateful, blah, blah, blah. Let it sink into you. Choose to be grateful, even when that feels like the harder choice. Choose to be grateful in the moment, regardless of what you're actually experiencing, because there's something, even if you have to dig for it. And if you have to dig for it, you're actually finding something that's really good, because it's not surface level, and things that are not surface level are the best, right? You know, we all have like those surface level friends, but then we have friends that are so much deeper than that, and that's when it gets to be the best. So grab your journal and write a list of gratitude things you're grateful for. Write a gratitude list. And if you are feeling like you want to take that gratitude deeper, I would invite you to list 3 to 5 things that you take a little bit deeper. And the way I want you to take this deeper is I want you to list what you're grateful for and how you created that. So I could say, I'm really grateful for my friend who calls me because I love her calls. But the way I created that, how I contributed to that, was I put in the necessary, you know, friendship and good feelings and reciprocity and energy to co-create a friendship with her in which she feels like she can call me, in which she, that has created a safe place for this where she can confide in me or talk to me or run things by me. um, and we can have that conversation. But the way that I created that, I co-created it with her, but I put in energy, I put in effort, I put in, work into this friendship. That's what I mean. So if you are grateful for your home, what did you do to create that home? Did you decorate it in a way that you love? Did you, hunt for just the right pieces? What did you do to create that? If you are grateful for your relationship with your spouse or your children or, your best friend, what did you do to create that? And the more specific you get, the more you can realize that you actually contribute to all of these great things in your life. These great things in your life don't necessarily happen by accident. These great things in your life happen because of things that you did. You contributed to all of these great things in your life. I can be grateful for this color swatch wall. And I can say, I'm grateful for this color swatch wall and that I put in the time and effort to choose these colors and then cut them out onto swatches and then put them on the wall. I did a lot of work there. That's an obvious one. And there are not so obvious ones, but I would almost guarantee you that whatever you are grateful for, you can trace it back to something you have done that contributed to that thing or that situation or that relationship in your life. And as you can strengthen that relationship in your brain, as you can see that what you do creates the things that you are grateful for in your life, the things that you are maybe not so grateful for, you can see that you have the power to change those things too. Doesn't that just feel good? I feel good. I feel like I've spent a lot of energy in this episode today. I hope you take gratitude to more of a next level. Don't let this be just like, gratitude, blah, blah, blah. Okay, take it to another level and maybe help somebody else take it to another level. Encourage them with how I've encouraged you, or send this podcast along to them so that I can encourage them to experience more gratitude in their life, a deeper gratitude, and feel that connection as well. Because everything just is so much better when you are feeling grateful for the things you have, the person you are, and the life that you're experiencing. Not everything's perfect, and it never will be, but there will always be good in whatever you're experiencing. You just have to find it, and you have to be committed to find it. That's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. I am grateful for you. And I am grateful. Here's an example. I am grateful that I have put myself out there on the internet to create these podcasts, to have this opportunity to uplift you and to co-create this experience with you. I'm grateful for your support. Thank you. I wish you a beautiful day with all the sparkly things. Bye for now.